Good afternoon, everybody. On behalf of Oasis Travel and Alison and myself would really like to welcome you all to our first virtual online cruise show. I know that many of you tuned in today will have been going to our cruise fairs for a number of years. And we started doing these about 15 years ago when we had maybe 100 people in a hotel in Bangor, and that really progressed to our biggest show, which was last year in the Waterfront Exhibition Hall, and we had about 1,500 people. So I know Alison and I had planned that this year was going to be an even bigger event than last year, but sadly that wasn't to be. But we're really overwhelmed by your attendance today and the interest that everybody is shown in this event. So thank you for that. So we hope that we're really going to inspire you really to help you plan your next cruise holiday. The cruise companies have been working really hard to make sure that there's going to be new health and safety protocols because of COVID. So we really anticipate that there should be a return to cruising, maybe later on this year, but definitely by next year. The river cruising has already started. I'm hoping it's going to be later this year because I've actually got a cruise booked for over the new year, and I'm hoping that will sail. So whilst we really miss seeing you all face to face and having our afternoon teas and our events, we can promise you that we have some really nice exciting presentations, and we have some really great offers. The cruise companies are really keen that people get back to cruising and have given us some fabulous cruise offers. So I think we're all really wanting something to look forward to. Definitely. So it'll be something nice. So at the end of the presentation, we'll be taking questions. So you have the opportunity to ask any questions by just clicking on the question button on your Zoom and typing that in, and then we will maybe get Alison to answer those at the end. And we also have a lovely prize giveaway. So please make sure that you listen to the presentation carefully, and we'll be asking a question about that and giving that prize away at the end. So I know that some of you have cruised before with Azamara, but they really offer small luxury cruising, I think, at very affordable prices. Many of you will have seen the Azamara Pursuit whenever she was in Belfast for a while getting a refit. And I think that really brought Azamara to the forefront for Northern Ireland cruisers. There's no doubt that we are seeing a bigger demand for this size of ship that can get into the smaller ports of call. They're very destination focused, where they'll stay in port a while longer, and I think that that's also what people are looking for, just that opportunity to explore a destination a little bit more. Alison you were lucky enough actually to sail on Azamara Pursuit whenever she called into Belfast. So what did you think of Azamara?
I had no idea what it would be like to step on board a smaller ship. And I didn't really understand the term boutique hotel. I thought, what does this actually mean? So I actually brought my husband, who's never cruised before, and didn't really relish the thought of being on a small ship. But I have to say, from the minute we stepped on board, it felt extremely relaxing. It was really very contemporary. There was a lot of open spaces. There was still choice. We still had as much choice as you would have done on a bigger ship, but just on a much smaller scale. I thought the food was outstanding. The pool area was beautiful. You still had your cabanas, you had your waiter service. We were sipping cocktails in a cabana. I mean, it was without question a fabulous experience. And for the first time, a non-cruiser, my husband said, "This is amazing," and he was totally blown away with the ship. And you felt very at home in the ship. You didn't have the what end of the ship, where am I going, how do I get to here? It flowed beautifully. It was lovely.
So everything on board, and you felt really spoiled, because I know sometimes we think of sort of the smaller ship cruising as a progression from the big ship cruising, but I don't really think that's the case, because it really depends. If you don't want the rock climbing walls, and you don't want the ice skating rinks and things, what's the point? So you felt really spoiled. Well, I really don't want to spoil our presenter's presentation, so I'd like to hand over now to Nikki Singleton from Azamara Cruises. So over to you now, Nikki.
Hello everyone, my name is Nikki Singleton. I am here from Azamara. Thanks, I'm delighted to be here. Thanks to Oasis for inviting me along to my very first virtual cruise fair. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you'll find the next 15 minutes useful. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the brand itself, about Azamara, and also a little bit about where we're going forward in the future. And so there's lots of exciting news in here as well. So I hope you enjoy it. So a little bit about the history of Azamara. We have 3 wonderful ships, as you can see here, the Azamara Quest, Azamara Pursuit and the Azamara Journey. All ships are pretty much identical, so there's not a lot in it between them. We take the same amount of passengers, which is 690, and we have the same facilities, etc. on each ship. So you can't really tell much of a difference between one or the other. We do have some guests that have their favourites, down to the crew maybe that work on each of the ships, but really it wouldn't really matter what ship you go on. It really is all down to the itinerary that you want to sail on. So Azamara are part of the Royal Caribbean group, so we have various other cruise lines within that group, but Azamara are the smaller ships and the more luxury brand of the group. So we specialise in getting into ports that those bigger ships from Royal Caribbean and Celebrity can't get into at all, and really being able to spend more time in port than other cruise lines as well. Each ship, as I said, takes 690 passengers, and even though we are small ships, you know, don't let that deceive you. We still have the same facilities that bigger ships have to offer, just on a much smaller scale, of course. So we do have an evening entertainment. We've got various restaurants to choose from. We do have specialty dining on board. We have our pool deck. We also have the pool deck barbecues and white nights and things like that. So everything really that the bigger ships have to offer, but again, just on a much smaller scale. This slide, I could probably do the whole presentation looking at this, and it just kind of depicts what Azamara is all about. You know, we basically can describe ourselves with these 3 pillars. But from that first mention there is all about destination immersion and the experience that we want you to be able to have in the places that we're docking at and we're visiting. So with that, we have 3 pillars that make that up. One is the immersive itineraries, one is beyond the sea, what you can do before and after your cruise, which we can include, and also the actual ships themselves. So if we jump to the ships themselves, you know, the ships are fully inclusive, they're upmarket ships, they're always freshly decorated with contemporary design, and obviously our crew on board are absolutely fantastic, and that's what brings you guys back time and time again. And we also focus very much on the destination programming. So whatever is going on in the places that we are visiting, we tend to try and bring that on the ships as well by serving local dishes, local wines, anything to do with the destinations we're visiting. And then into the middle one, beyond the sea, that's our pre and post collection. So that would bring in, we do pre and post land packages to each of our cruises. Examples of that might be it might be a safari in South Africa from Cape Town. If we're doing a South Africa intensive, you can add a 5-day safari and Victoria Falls onto your cruise. Or it might be something like South America, Machu Picchu. So there's a lot of opportunities there to do just a little bit more than your cruise, if that's what you would like. We also offer complimentary AZAMAZING evenings, which we're quite renowned for. And these are complimentary evenings, bespoke cultural evenings that we put on for all the guests on the ship, but we do it off of the ship. So we take the guests somewhere to this evening that Azamara have put together. We also offer unusual, local, authentic shore excursions, so not your typical run-of-the-mill, and we also offer shore excursions that are an overnight experience as well. So if we're in port maybe 1 or 2 nights, you have the opportunity to do an excursion which takes in an overnight in the place that you're visiting. And then obviously the main immersive itineraries, the best immersive itineraries, what brings that together? Even though we've got the 3 ships, we've still cover the globe. So we've still got the whole globe covered with just the 3 ships. Because of the size of our lovely little ships, we can get into the ports that the bigger ships can't visit. So we really do make an effort to get right into the centre of town. You know, we dock close to the city centres and we sail right up the river. So imagine it's Seville. We don't dock into Cadiz. We dock in the centre of Seville. We're able to sail right up the river and basically off the ship and you're into the centre. The same goes for Lisbon. That's, you know, you off the ship, you're straight into the town centre of Lisbon. The same goes for Bordeaux. We sail right into the centre of Bordeaux, 10-minute walk into the city centre. Ho Chi Minh City, very much the same. Walk off the ship, you're right in the centre of Saigon. So yes, that's our aim, is to make sure that our guests don't really have more than a 20-minute walk to get into the centre of the places that we're visiting, or the towns that we're visiting. Longer stays and more overnights. We do stay longer and longer in port than any other cruise line in the world, and we also have more overnight stays than any other cruise line in the world, and we really are very proud to say that. So what we do is we sail through the night slowly, arrive at 7 o'clock in the morning in port, and we don't leave again till like 8, 9, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night sometimes. Or if we're not even staying that late, we're staying overnight, maybe 1 or 2 nights, all depending on where it is. But it really just means that you can have that opportunity to sit back and have an early evening cocktail. I mean, most big cruise lines, you've got to be back on the ship by like 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're sailing at 5. If that's what you want to do, don't come with Azamara, because we stay right up until evening, late evening, night time in the ports that we're visiting. So you really get to see the place you're visiting in daylight and in the evening when it all comes to life. We also offer country intensive voyages, which basically means we are touring around a country intensively. So you're basically getting a tour of a country and coming back to your own little floating boutique hotel at sea every night and being taken care of from start to finish. The other thing that we specialise in is world events and specialty voyages. One of our specialty voyages that's most popular is golf. We also do wine voyages and various other specialty voyages. We also make sure that when we're working out our deployment, like 2 years in advance sometimes, we're also looking at what's going on in the world. So if we're looking at 2023 now, we're looking at what is happening in the world in 2023. When's the Cannes Film Festival? When's the Monaco Grand Prix? The Dendatori Festival in Venice? When's the Masters? Where is it? Where are the Olympics? So where's the World Cup? It could be anything like that, but we want to make sure that our ships are where, at least one of our ships is where these events are being held, so that again you just get to experience the best of where you're visiting. So just a little highlighter here, you can see that Azamara there has 77% of our days are port days, not at sea, 54% of that. So over half of our port days are either a late night or an overnight stay. And that was the plan for this year, and it's actually the same for 2021 as well. I spoke to you about our overnight experiences. Some of these, an example of these could be, if we're in South Africa, for example, an overnight at a game reserve in South Africa, or if we're in South America, it could be an overnight stay at Moon Valley in Chile, and glamping and looking stargazing, which I think might be the picture here. So for some fantastic once-in-a-lifetime opportunities while you're sailing with Azamara. I gave you an example of the pre and post voyage packages that we do. I was lucky enough to do this one, and we did after a Cape Town sailing. We had a couple of nights in Franschhoek in the winelands in South Africa and Cape Town. Then we travelled up and did a 2-night safari in Kruger National Park, and then we went up and did 2 nights in the Victoria Falls Hotel and the Victoria Falls with helicopter rides and stuff included. So some fantastic, again, one-off experiences available to you. This is a picture of an Azamazing evening we had in Koper in Slovenia. Very popular events, probably slightly different going forward. We're working out how we can do these until the world is back to normal, but yes, we will still be holding them in some shape or form. Yeah, 2020, the new explorations that are on the horizon, so it's really exciting news that we just came out with a week or so ago, is that we have just announced our 2022 into 23 itineraries. So we have all of 2022 on sale, and up until April or May 2023 on sale, so Q1 2023. So there's a lot more to look forward to, and it's just really exciting for us as well to be able to come out with this, because are we not all a bit fed up with with this year already? So to be able to look ahead at 2021, 22 and even into 23 and plan our sailings, plan your cruises around that is fantastic. We've got great new itineraries. We've got a lot more Greece in there as well, which is fantastic. In fact, we just came out with some new Greece itineraries for next year, 2021, which are around April, May, June time. So we've got some exciting new stuff for 2021 and also into 2022 and 2023. And throughout these years, we are going to 70 different countries, 275 unique ports, 300 late nights and 170 overnights. So when I say unique ports, I really do mean the ports that the bigger ships can't visit. That we really are getting right into those small Greek islands that you would never see a bigger ship with 2 or 3,000 passengers on visiting. An example of some new itineraries for 2022. This is a beautiful itinerary from Athens up to Istanbul, and it takes in Egypt and Israel as well. And you'll see there we've got 3 overnight stays. And here's one of our amazing Greece intensives with the little island of Tinos in there, where we have an overnight stay, and that's only a 7-night sailing, but it's still with 3 late nights and 1 overnight stay as well. This is highlights some of the intensive voyages that we have. So you'll see there Greece is a big player in this with 9 country intensives in 2022, and even next year we've got 7 country intensives there as well. Spain's high up in the list as well, but you see we've got them everywhere. I mean, we've got France, Italy, Norway, Scotland even. We have an intensive if you fancy popping over to see me. And then I thought I can't finish up without just showing you some pictures of the actual ships themselves and what the staterooms look like. So my favourite suite, the spa suite, where we have a hot tub out in the balcony, you'll see up there in the top right hand corner, and then it gives you an idea of the Club Continent suites and also down to the veranda. So remember, if you're booking something just now, we have a fantastic promotion on where you will get a veranda for the same price of an inside, which we haven't even shown here, although look just as nice. So I'll explain a little bit about that in a second. Excuse me, folks. So inclusive amenities, Azamara are a more inclusive product. So your gratuities, the main things that are included are your tips. So your gratuities are included, and also your complimentary AZAMAZING evenings event. So that's included as well. And the other big thing that's included are your drinks. So all your spirits, international beers and wines are included in the price, plus all your soft drinks, of course. If you are a Veranda Plus guest, which you easily could be on the promotion that we're running just now, complimentary internet, 120 minutes per guest. You also get 1 free laundry service per 7 days, and you have complimentary specialty dining 1 per week. So you have specialty dining once a week. With that, you also have your complimentary in-room spirits. Now, if you go up to a suite guest, you get all of those things, but just a little bit more. So your butler service, more complimentary internet, complimentary specialty dining any day of your cruise that you want. You have your in-room spirits, in-suite afternoon tea or savoury service every day, and $300 onboard credit on your ocean suites and spa suites and Club World owner suites as well. So there's a lot included, but remember, just as standard, you still have your drinks, your tips, your AZAMAZING evening, and many other things included in the price. I couldn't go without mentioning the Healthy Sales panel. This is a team of 11 experts who are guiding the cruise industry in itself in the way forward to response to COVID-19. So they're all globally recognised specialists in public health, infectious diseases, hospitality and maritime operations. And the panel are advising us on a science-backed plan so that we can ensure that we have a healthy return to service and that the well-being of our guests, you guys, our crew, as well as the communities we visit, are safe and well. So once we haven't come out with any announcements yet, but once we have got to the point that we can, once the Healthy Sail panel has totally finished with us and working with us, then we'll be coming out with some announcements soon. Our crew, well, what can I say? They are our heart, our soul, our crew. They're the heart and soul of our company. We're the ones that, Oasis Travel and I are the ones that will, you know, we're the ones that will sell you the first ever Azamara cruise. However, these guys, I have to say, are the stem of what will bring you back and make you want to book again. So I always like to just give them a little bit of a thumbs up during my presentations. So currently we have a double upgrade campaign. I mentioned it a minute ago. So this is a 2-category upgrade. This is running from now right through to the middle of September, sorry, the middle of November. And if you book an inside cabin, you will get a balcony cabin, or if you book a balcony, you'll get it for the price of the inside. So it's inside to balcony, ocean view to balcony plus, where you will get extra amenities included, and then you have balcony to Club Continent suite. So you will actually have a suite guest with all those suite amenities included that I just mentioned, including the butler service. So that is running at the moment. So there are some fantastic prices right now for balconies, as you can imagine, right into 2022 and also 2023 as well. So that's me for now. I kind of ran through that quite quickly, but I do hope that you found it helpful. And it's been really, really nice to be involved today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your cruise fair, and thank you very much, guys.
Nikki, thank you very much for that excellent presentation, and it certainly whet my appetite for Azamara. So we also, Alison, have a couple of questions just from people who have been watching, and I just want to read them. So this is actually one specifically for you, Alison. So as you have been on board, someone, actually it's Joanne asking, what did you think of the entertainment? What type of entertainment was there? And what is a white night?
Okay.
Hope you know this.
I do. So I'll answer the white night first.
Okay.
So it's held on the pool deck.
Yes.
And basically it's a barbecue. It's quite lively. You've got your music outside, you've got dancing, and you're encouraged obviously to wear white. It's a wonderful experience, because obviously you can be in the Mediterranean or the Caribbean. So there's a great feel about the white night. For the entertainment overall, yes, there is entertainment. You will get your Broadway show. You will get your piano bar. You will have your singers and your dancers. As I said, it's just not as, it's on a smaller scale. Yeah. But you still have plenty of choice. And certainly we enjoyed going up to the music bar, and, you know, there was music playing, there was people singing, there was people dancing, people were having a drink at the bar. So it was really very lively, which was actually a bit shocking because I wasn't expecting that, but very, very informal and really relaxed.
So the same sort of variety that you'd get on really some of the bigger ships. Yeah, fantastic. Okay. And John is asking, about the speciality dining. Nikki had mentioned that speciality dining is included for some and not for others. What about the speciality dining?
It's included for suite guests.
Yes.
So it's complimentary. There's 2 speciality dining restaurants on board. There is a steakhouse and seafood, and then there is an Italian, and they only cost $30 each. So we ate one night in the steak food, Prime C, it's called. I'd highly recommend trying one of the restaurants at least once, because if you were to eat out at that quality, it would be £100 per person. And it's $30. And it is nice to do something a wee bit different. But yeah, so two specialty dinings.
There's no doubt about it today, you know, if you're learning about cruising for the first time, that the speciality restaurants are really, really something else. I mean, they're world class.
Yes, they are.
Fair to say.
Yeah.
So now, Alison, what do you recommend? Azamara, have you got any wee deals for us?
I have a couple. I just wanted to highlight, as you heard from Nikki, they are doing a promotion at the minute where you get a free 2-category upgrade. So what that means is if you book an inside cabin, you actually get a balcony,
which is amazing.
Amazing. So I just wanted to highlight too, that offer is only running up for about another, I think it's up to about the middle of November.
Okay.
I just wanted to highlight too, there's a beautiful Greek intensive. So Greek is what she talked about during her presentation. It is new for Azamara. There's a lot of new sailings. So for next year, you can fly from Dublin. I chose sort of the middle of May. So it is a good date. You can fly from Dublin to Athens. You'll be picked up in Athens. You're taken to a 4-star hotel for a night pre-cruise in Athens. Then you have a 7-night sailing on Azamara Pursuit. What drawn me to this itinerary is you have a really long stay in Santorini. So you're there 7:30 in the morning, but you don't actually leave to 10 o'clock that night. So you can actually get to experience Santorini by day and by night. And what a lot of customers will do is they maybe go back to the ship, have their dinner, and then leave the ship and go and see Santorini at night time. So
that's spectacular.
I thought that one was brilliant. And bear in mind, this is a balcony cabin. Do you want to guess? Sometimes you like to guess.
I do like to guess now. So all-inclusive luxury. How many nights?
7.
So I'm going to say £4,000 per person.
Sandra's not very good at guessing the prices. 2,200.
Okay, say, well, I'm not good at guessing because that is the price of a 3-star cruise. Yeah, that's amazing.
It's a phenomenal price because it's balcony, and don't forget we can also give you $250 on board. So
of course you're only paying for an inside cabin. So that's where you got me out there. Okay. Yeah.
And the onboard credit that we give you, the $250, you can use to try your specialty dining.
Yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Okay.
And the second one I chose.
Please tell me it's Africa.
It's Africa. Is a 12-night intensive South African voyage. Now this one sails from Cape Town, so we'll fly you from Dublin down to Cape Town. You'll have a night in Cape Town before your cruise, and then you actually have a 12-night cruise. So this is a longer cruise. Now this is on the Journey. It takes you through Port Elizabeth, takes you to Mozambique, which I know you've been to Mozambique.
Alison, Africa is one of my favourite places, and a couple of years ago, yes, we were in South Africa and did get the opportunity to go to Mozambique. Now, only because actually my cousin has a house there, because it's not a destination that I would really have thought of going to just for myself, and I know it's terribly expensive too, but it is just amazing. You know, you're talking about miles and miles. In fact, my cousin said to me, let's go for a walk, a 10-mile walk. Are you up for it? And I said yes. I said, we can stop for a coffee along the way. And she was killing herself laughing. I said, what's so funny? She said, well, there's going to be no coffee shops in Mozambique. So we did walk a sandy beach for there and back to our house, 10 miles. And I think we probably met 2 people. It is idyllic. And you see the sunrises, the sunsets, the stars in the evening. You really just feel you're in another world. It's amazing.
Africa is a beautiful continent. And I think this is a great way to see South Africa, to see Mozambique, and be really safe while you're doing it, because you know the crew are with you on the shore excursions.
You're handheld.
The whole way. So this is your 12 nights. How much do you think? Now this is a
12 nights. Okay, so I'm going to say for all inclusive 12 night now. Now I'm including flights.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to say 6,000. No,
just over half. So it's 3,300 each.
Yeah, so that's amazing.
Which is a fantastic deal, and that, as Nikki talks about, is a real intensive voyage where you get to experience that South African coast. So again, you'll get your $250 to spend on board, and we're so lucky in Oasis that many of our staff have chosen to holiday on Azamara themselves. So we have real experts in Azamara, in particular thinking of Jennifer in our portfolio office in Belfast. She loves to holiday on Azamara. And Elaine in Cruise Beyond has been on Azamara. So real experts within Oasis.
And if people like yourself have been on for lunch.
Yes, we have.
But a lot of us have actually seen the ships.
Yes. So we are very, very lucky, and we're able to give that first-hand knowledge. So Azamara is a great step on. If you've never cruised before, it's a perfect one to start trying.
Well, there's no doubt about it that those sorts of prices with everything that's included are far better value than any land-based holiday. Absolutely. I mean, they're incredible. And I think a lot of the offers that we're getting are maybe due to the current situation and trying to just get people's confidence back. But, you know, it's good to see that the cruise companies are taking so many precautions and that safety measures are in place going forward. That's great. So Alison, anybody who's thinking of booking, our offices are open open until 4 o'clock. We're just opening reduced hours, so 10 o'clock to 4 o'clock, but we are contactable outside those hours by email.
Yes, we are.
So there's another question. Do Azamara intend to offer cruises in early 2021,
Yes.
Alison? Do you have a start date for those?
Yes,
For
you
Azamara?
can book Azamara traveling from December this year onwards. So they are on sale for 2021, and any of our teams can help you with that.
And please bear in mind that whenever you're booking packages with us, they are protected. So should there be any changes or amendments to that, you will be offered either a credit towards your next cruise or a full refund. But look, thank you all so much for joining us this afternoon. I hope you found that very, very interesting and very helpful. I've certainly learned a lot, and we look forward to seeing you face to face soon and helping you with your next holiday booking. Thank you.
Thank you.